So, today I want to talk about the important art of self-care. Let me take my glasses off. I can see a little glare. So, why do I want to talk about self-care? Let me give you a little background, right? There is a lot of shit going on in the world, but regardless of that, there's always a lot of shit going on in our life. And self-care is the one thing next to breathing that you can actually control in your life, right? It's the one thing that you can do to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position to win the day, right? So a self-care routine is you putting yourself in the routine of winning for the day. And why is this powerful? When you get yourself in the habit of winning for the day, you have an expectation of winning every day, right? And you begin to become the type of person that only does things like winning every day, right? So, I'm pretty sure somebody wrote a book called Win the Day, right? And it's about like the morning routines. So I did 7 years in the Army. So for me, morning routines are kind of baked in. Like I had no choice. Kind of always had to do some type of morning routine. And in the Army, we always exercise in the morning, right? So we wake up 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever. Get out into formation by 6, and then 6:30 we're running, right, or doing some type of exercise. And I always thought it was just because the Army fucking exercises. It's not. That's actually not why you do it. The reason that in the Army, you exercise every morning is because it's actually the best way to make your body ready for work, right? And so what that means is it's not like ready for the workday, but it puts your body in a position where it's no longer demanding rest, right? It elevates it. Okay, you get your adrenaline pumping at least a little bit, and it wakes your body up for the day. Okay, so it goes along with our circadian rhythm, and this is why in the Army, as the sun comes up, you start working out, right? So when the sun's down, you're still stretching, and when the sun starts coming up, you start working out. And that's how I used to do my morning routine. I always just worked out and figured, hey, that's it. But as I got older, I realized that I needed a little bit more personally, right? Like I couldn't get by with what everybody else was doing. I was talking to a client yesterday, and he happens to be a lawyer, and I told him, I said, listen, man, when you're living a life of service, you have to take care of yourself. You have to put yourself in a position where you're able to serve other people, right? Because that's the choice that you made, okay? The only issue is that when you're living a life of service, it actually costs you a lot, right? Time, energy, mostly energy. And what you would normally do, what a normal person would do to get their energy back to recover, isn't enough for people like us. And so we have to do extra things, okay? And so this is when I started thinking about like this is when I discovered meditation. I started doing yoga actually to recover from a broken leg, but I incorporated it into my morning routine, and I found that yoga and meditation for me are exactly what I need in the morning. I have anxiety, I have PTSD, and so I just have that high rev anyway, right? And so what it does for me is it allows me to slow down, it allows me to take control of my day, and it shows me that I love and respect myself enough to take care of myself first before I take care of anybody else. Okay, so that's what it does for me, but what it does for other people is it shows, like it allows my best self to show up for those other people. Because if I don't do that for myself, I'm actually showing up as my worst self, right? And so the other people are like, hey man, are you having a bad day? Like, what's wrong? You know, and they want to help me. And they don't realize that, like, no, I'm actually here to help you. I just fucked up and I didn't get myself in the right headspace today. Right? So for me, it took a long time for me to accept the fact that my head's not always in the right place. And sometimes it takes 3 to 4 hours before it is. Right? And so what does that mean? Well, that means I have to wake up early in the morning. Like really fucking early. And so I'm up before everybody I know, typically. And it's not because I'm trying to get up before them. Like, even though it is, I am trying to get up before them, but only so I have enough space to become myself, to push past my trauma, to get the nightmares from the fucking night out of my head, and to like give myself the space to really be who I know I am, right? Because otherwise, my body starts taking control, and you know I start pushing people away, and I'm just an aggressive asshole. So the point is that I have to give myself the space in the morning to do this. You might find that you have to give yourself the space at night to do this. It really doesn't matter. It's not about like taking somebody else's routine, self-care routine, and applying it to yourself. You can take the things that work for you, right? But it's about giving yourself the space and the respect to listen to yourself and understand what you really need to show up as your best self, right? And not what somebody else tells you you got to do so you can show up as their version of your best self, but what you actually have to do for yourself, right? And so, I mean, I know a lot of us, like I see it on LinkedIn all the time. We get in the habits of trying to prove ourselves to either somebody or the person that hired us or ourself, right? I try to prove myself all the time. And when you're doing that, the thing that always falls away, the first thing that always falls away is you taking care of yourself, right? That's the first thing that everybody just lets go when they're like, oh, I got to get this shit done. I need to prove something. I need to make something of myself or whatever you think you got to do, right? When in reality, what you got to do is you got to take care of yourself. Like, if you look around, you can tell the people that are taking care of themselves. It's very obvious. And you can tell the people that are not. And that's very obvious. And it's our responsibility, the people who know how to take care of themselves, to show the people who aren't taking care of themselves how to do it. And we don't show them by fucking telling them. We show them by taking care of ourselves. All right? So put your fucking mask on first before you put it on the baby. But this airplane ain't going down. All right, that's all I got. And yeah, if you like this video, share, subscribe on YouTube, and keep watching for this next one.